There are three things that can change your entire life. If you carry them, they'll guide you, protect you, and lift you higher than you ever imagined. And I'm not talking about complicated ideas, I'm talking about simple truths that most people ignore. The first one begins with a question. Who are you? Not the name your parents gave you, not the job title on your business card, a convenient shorthand for what you do, but not who you are. Not the roles society has placed on your shoulders, parent, child, employee, friend. These are functions, not the entirety of your soul. Those are just labels, costumes we wear on life's stage. We collect them, sometimes desperately, hoping they will define us and give us a sense of worth. But they are external, temporary, and can be taken away in an instant. They are not the core of your being. Who are you, really? Beneath the noise, the expectations, the carefully constructed persona, who is the real you? The you that dreams when no one is watching, the you that feels a pang of longing for something more, something authentic? It's a quiet tragedy. Most people go through life never asking this fundamental question. They live like passengers, not drivers, seated in a vehicle they don't control, watching their one precious life flash by. They're carried along by the currents of convention, a life they didn't consciously choose. They let the world take the wheel and wonder why they feel a nagging emptiness, a sense of being a stranger in their own story, arriving at destinations they never wanted to be. But the moment you finally pause, take a deep breath and look yourself in the eye, that is a moment of revolution. It takes courage to stop the car and question the map. In that moment you declare, my life is my own. I will steer. That's when you take back control, seizing the pen from the hands of circumstance and claiming your sovereignty as the author of your story. So how do you begin this excavation of the self? You create space. Turn off the world's noise to hear your soul's whisper. This is a daily habit, not a one-time fix. Grab a journal and ask powerful questions. What did I love as a child before the world told me what I should love? When do I feel most alive and energized? What injustice breaks my heart and calls me to action? What would I do if I knew I could not fail? This isn't a one-time event, it's a lifelong sacred conversation with yourself. One wise man once said, "A person without vision is like a boat without a rudder. It will move, but it will go wherever the waves take it." That vision, your personal North Star, is born from your identity. Without it, you are adrift. The waves of social media, the storms of personal crisis, the powerful currents of other people's agendas will toss you about relentlessly, leaving you exhausted and far from your desired shore. You don't want that. You don't want to live accidentally. You want to live intentionally. Accidental living is the default. It's easy. Intentional living is a deliberate, courageous choice you make every single day. It means choosing your destination and steering with unwavering focus, navigating not by public opinion, but by the constant, guiding stars of your own core values. And here's the ultimate truth that unlocks everything. You are not just flesh and blood. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. Ponder that. You are not a human searching for a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being immersed in one. This perspective changes everything. It means your struggles are not your identity, they are part of your curriculum. Your body is the vessel, your mind the map, but your spirit, your true identity, is the infinite energy that powers the journey. You are connected to something far greater than yourself, the universe, the source of all creation. This is not a metaphor, it is a fact. This means you have access to unlimited creativity, resilience, and power. You are a wave in the ocean of existence, distinct and unique in your expression, yet inseparable from the power of the whole. The journey to achieving the impossible doesn't start with a business plan or a lucky break. It starts with a single courageous step inward. It begins with identity. Until you know who you are, you will never truly know what you're capable of. You'll always be playing a smaller game than you were destined for. When you know who you are no longer limited by what the world tells you that you can be. You become limitless, an unstoppable force for good in your own life and in the world. The second truth is service. The world today is obsessed with being famous, with being seen. But here's the problem. Fame fades. Likes, followers, attention, they vanish. What doesn't vanish is the impact you leave. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Not everyone can be famous, but everyone can be great, because greatness is determined by service." Think about that. The greatest leaders, the names we remember in history, the people who shaped humanity, they weren't just successful. They served a cause greater than themselves. They gave their gifts back to the world. Somebody once told me, success is not what you achieve for yourself, but what you leave behind for others. That's the secret. The moment you stop asking, what can I get, and start asking, what can I give? Life opens doors you never imagined. And the third truth? It's the one that sounds the simplest, but it is by far the hardest to live. It's a single, unwavering commitment that will define the entire quality of your existence. Always do the right thing. Always be excellent. This isn't a grand one-time gesture. It's a quiet daily decision, made in the silent theater of your own mind. It's the choice you make in 1,000 small moments when no one is there to give you a trophy. In these moments, two voices compete. One whispers, "It's good enough." The other insists, "Make it better." Choosing excellence is choosing to listen to that second voice. It's the internal compass that guides you when the path of least resistance looks so much more appealing. But what is excellence really? We've been taught to chase perfection, an impossible, unforgiving standard that often leads to paralysis. But excellence is different. Excellence is attainable. It isn't about a flawless outcome, it's about a flawless effort. It's about showing up with everything you have, especially on the days you have the least to give. The great philosopher Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. So how do you build this habit? You start small. Choose to be excellent at one thing, the next email you write, the next conversation you have. Infuse that single act with the highest quality of care you can muster. This is how the habit is forged, not in grand ambitions, but in repeated conscious efforts. This habit of excellence is available to everyone, in every role. It doesn't care about your job title or the size of your office. I've seen it in a janitor, mopping a floor not just until it was clean, but until it gleamed, taking visible pride in his craft. I've seen it in a teacher who stays late to help a struggling student, not because it's required, but because she refuses to let a child fall behind. In these moments, they aren't just performing a job, they are affirming their own value. This commitment to quality builds a powerful sense of self-respect. Even in the smallest job, excellence shines with the brightness of a lighthouse. People are drawn to that light, they notice it, they remember it, because what you're really building day by day is your character. You don't need a fancy logo or a marketing campaign. You are your brand. Think of your character as a structure. Every honest act, every kept promise, is a solid stone in its foundation. But every shortcut, every good enough compromise is a crack that weakens the whole. Every single action is a brushstroke on the canvas of your reputation. The way you act, the way you treat others, the promises you keep, and especially the decisions you make when no one is watching, that is your true brand. Your resume lists your skills, but your character is your ultimate reference. It speaks for you long after you've left the room. And here's the beautiful secret I've learned. When you commit to this path of excellence, you become unforgettable. I still remember a young woman working the drive-thru at a fast food joint years ago. It was late, I was tired, and she could have just handed me the bag and moved on. But she didn't. She looked me in the eye, smiled a genuine smile, and said, "I put some extra napkins in there for you. Have a great night." It was such a small thing, but in that moment, she wasn't just a fast food worker, she was a beacon of care. That small act of excellence created a ripple, a moment of human connection that I still carry with me. This is the contagious nature of excellence. When you operate from a place of genuine care, you elevate the entire human experience around you. You give others permission to care too, because excellence has power. It's the power of integrity in action. It's choosing to do the right thing, especially when it's the hard thing. It's taking the uphill path when the downhill slope is right there, calling your name. Do the right thing when no one knows. Do it when no one claps. Do it even when the world seems to be pushing you in the opposite direction. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. reminded us, the time is always right to do what is right. Your character isn't defined by public praise but by private choices, and you must trust in a fundamental law of the universe more reliable than gravity. For every action there is a corresponding reaction. This isn't just physics, it's the spiritual and moral fabric of our world. The energy you put out, of integrity, of kindness, of excellence, creates a current. But this requires faith. There will be days you give your all and get nothing but silence in return. Days you do the right thing and see others rewarded for cutting corners. This is the test. This is where resilience is born. It's the commitment to planting the seed without demanding to see the flower bloom tomorrow. When you consistently choose the right thing, you align yourself with that positive current. The right things, the right people, the right opportunities will inevitably flow back to you. It may not be on your timeline, but it will happen. That's not an opinion, that's a law of nature. But the ultimate return isn't external. I once heard a wise man say, "The reward for doing the right thing isn't applause, it's peace." And he was absolutely right. Every time you choose integrity over convenience, every time you choose excellence over good enough, you might doubt yourself in the moment. The world might even call you a fool. But when your head hits the pillow at night, you will find a profound, unshakable peace waiting for you. It's the peace of knowing you can look yourself in the mirror, the peace of a clear conscience. This inner tranquility is a fortress that no external chaos can breach. It is priceless. So, don't wait for a bigger stage. The masterpiece of your life is painted in the brushstrokes of this very moment. In your very next interaction, your very next task, choose excellence. Choose integrity. Build your fortress, one right decision at a time. So as we part ways, let me leave you with the 3 truths that pave this road. First, know who you are. This is the hardest, most courageous work you will ever do. It means silencing the noise of societal expectations to hear the quiet whisper of your own soul. It's peeling back the layers of who the world told you to be and discovering the authentic, unshakable core within. This isn't a one-time event. It's a lifelong conversation with yourself, finding your voice in a world of echoes. Second, serve with everything you've got. True purpose isn't found in what you accumulate, but in what you contribute. It's in the small, often unseen acts. The patient ear you lend a friend, the mentorship you offer, the problem you solve that makes someone's day easier. As Martin Luther King Jr. so powerfully said, everybody can be great, because anybody can serve. Your greatness is measured by your positive impact. And third, let excellence be your standard. This isn't about the crippling pressure of perfection. It's about a relentless commitment to being your best self. As Aristotle taught, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. It's the discipline you bring to your craft and your character, day in and day out. It's a form of self-respect, because when the sun sets on your journey, in that quiet moment of reflection, the noise of the world will fall away. It won't matter how much money you made or how many people knew your name. The applause will fade into a distant memory, the accolades will gather dust on a forgotten shelf. What will echo in the chambers of your heart, the only true measure of your life, are the answers to these questions. Did you live true to yourself, honoring the person you were born to be? Did you serve others, using your gifts to leave the world a little brighter than you found it? Did you live with excellence, pouring your soul into what you did? If the answer is a resounding yes, then you haven't just won, you've transcended the game. You've stopped playing by someone else's rules and started living by your own internal compass. You've achieved the ultimate victory, a life of purpose, a legacy of impact, and a soul at peace. That is a success no one can ever take from you. And this is where I leave you, right here on Greatest Lane. This isn't just a channel, it's a commitment. It's a community. It's a place where we explore these truths together. Where we don't just dream about success, we define it on our own terms, and then build it, brick by brick, habit by habit, one truth at a time. So if this message ignited something within you, if you felt a spark of recognition, make a pact with your future self. Hit that subscribe button and join our community. Don't put it off. Do it now. This single click is more than just a subscription, it's a declaration. It's you telling the world, and more importantly, telling yourself that you are ready to step up and build your greatest life, because your greatest life isn't a distant destination, it's a journey that begins with a single decisive step. And this is the lane that will take you there. But before you go, there's one more truth that weaves through every step of this journey: persistence. The road to greatness is never a smooth path. It's marked by setbacks, detours, and moments when you'll want to give up. But it's what you do in those moments that defines you. Visual. A runner pushing through exhaustion in the rain. Visual. A student studying under a single lamp late at night. Visual. An artist erasing and redrawing. Visual. A young entrepreneur facing rejection but trying again. Persistence is the silent force that keeps you moving forward when progress seems invisible. It's the power that turns adversity into advantage, and failure into fuel. When doors slam shut, persistence finds a window. When critics doubt you, resilience becomes your answer. Every story of greatness is a story of persistence. Behind every moment of triumph are countless hours when nobody was watching, when it was just you, your dream, and the voice inside that refused to quit. So, when you stumble, and you will, remember this. Persistence is not about never falling. It's about rising every single time. It's about showing up day after day, with unwavering faith that your effort matters, and that your breakthrough is closer than you think. Visual. Smiles of achievement. Visual. A sunrise over a city. Visual. Hands raised in quiet victory. Let your setbacks sharpen your resolve. Let your persistence become your superpower. Because in the end, greatness belongs to those who refuse to stop. Stay persistent, stay resilient, and always, keep moving forward on Greatest Lane. Change is the heartbeat of growth. It's the wind that shapes mountains, the tide carves new paths in the sand. Watch as winter melts into spring, the world awakening in a burst of color and possibility. See families packing boxes, stepping into unfamiliar cities, their faces a mix of nerves and hope. Change can be daunting. It asks us to leave comfort behind, to step into the unknown. But every transformation, big or small, holds the promise of new beginnings. A young person cutting their hair, a fresh start. Someone learning a new skill, stumbling at first, then smiling in triumph. Growth rarely happens in the safety of routine. It happens when we choose to see change not as a threat, but as an invitation. An opportunity to reinvent ourselves, to discover strengths we never knew we had. A caterpillar becoming a butterfly. An office worker finding joy in a new creative pursuit. So, when life shifts beneath your feet, don't resist, embrace it. Trust that every ending makes space for a new chapter to begin. Change is not the enemy, it's the architect of your evolution. People celebrating milestones, embracing loved ones, looking out at new horizons. Dare to welcome change, let it challenge you, shape you, and inspire you to become the greatest version of yourself. Because on Greatest Lane, transformation isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Gratitude is the quiet force that transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. It's the gentle pause before a meal, the heartfelt thank you whispered between friends, the warm embrace of family gathered close after a long day. Even in the midst of struggle, gratitude has the power to shift our perspective, turning setbacks into stepping stones and challenges into opportunities for growth. Watch as families gather around the table, laughter filling the air, friends exchanging small gifts, smiles lighting up their faces. A child hugging a parent, eyes shining with appreciation. These acts of gratitude, simple yet profound, connect us to one another and to the beauty of life itself. When we choose to focus on what we have rather than what we lack, joy blooms even in the hardest seasons. Gratitude reminds us that every day holds something worth cherishing. A kind word, a helping hand, a moment of peace. It teaches us to see abundance, not scarcity. So take a moment, notice the good, thank the people who lift you up. Celebrate the little victories. Because gratitude doesn't just change your mood, it changes your world. On Greatest Lane, we believe that a grateful heart is the foundation of true happiness. Let gratitude be your guide, and watch as joy finds its way into every corner of your life. Every great journey begins with a single step. Dreaming big is the spark that ignites our passions and fuels our ambitions, but it's the small, steady actions that turn those dreams into reality. Imagine a young artist sketching their first line. Imagine an entrepreneur jotting down ideas in a notebook. Imagine a student taking that first page of notes toward their degree. These moments may seem ordinary, but they are the building blocks of greatness. As you watch these scenes, people writing down their goals, taking that first hesitant step, laying the foundation of a new project, remember that every big achievement is made up of countless small efforts. Progress isn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet, steady, and patiently persistent. Celebrate every tiny victory, each completed task, each learned skill, each day you don't give up. Over time, these small wins add up, creating momentum and building confidence. So dream as big as you dare, but don't be afraid to start small. Write your goals, take that first action, build step by step, and let each success, no matter how minor, inspire you to keep going. On Greatest Lane, we believe that greatness isn't born in a single leap, it's built, one small step at a time. Start today and watch your dreams unfold. Even the boldest dreams can feel overwhelming when you try to chase them on your own. But here's a truth that often goes unspoken. You are not alone. Every journey to greatness is filled with moments when we need a helping hand, a word of encouragement, the presence of someone who believes in us. Picture a group of friends brainstorming together, their laughter mixing with determination. See a mentor guiding a young learner, offering wisdom and reassurance. Notice a community rallying behind a shared cause, their unity turning obstacles into stepping stones. These scenes are the heartbeat of every great story. Support community connection. When we stumble, people lift us up and remind us of our strengths. Greatness is not a solo journey. It's woven with relationships, teamwork, shared triumphs. So as you pursue your goals, remember to reach out, ask for help, offer support to others, celebrate together. On Greatest Lane, no one climbs the mountain alone. Together we are stronger, braver, more resilient. Embrace your community, cherish your connections. Let togetherness light your way to greatness. Every dream begins as a distant star, shimmering just beyond the horizon. Imagine yourself at the foot of a towering mountain, the path ahead winding through forests, across rivers and over rocky cliffs. With hope in your heart and purpose in your step, you set out, the world wide and wild before you. But soon, the journey tests your resolve. Storms gather, rain lashes against your face, the trail disappears beneath tangled roots and shifting shadows. Doubt whispers, tempting you to turn back. Yet with each setback, you discover new lessons. How to dance in the rain, how to find your footing on uncertain ground, how to keep moving when every muscle aches. You cross rushing rivers, sometimes slipping, sometimes carried by the current, always learning to trust the strength within. Along the way, you meet fellow travelers. Some lend a hand, others share a story, all reminding you that you are not alone. As dawn breaks, you pause to look back, realizing how far you've come. The summit glows ahead, golden in the rising sun. With renewed courage, you take the final steps, heart pounding, breathless with anticipation. And then, you stand at the peak, the world unfolding beneath you, endless and full of promise. This is your journey. The mountain may be steep, the river's wide, but the view from the top is worth every challenge. So take that first step, embrace the adventure. Let your dreams guide you like stars, let your spirit carry you to heights you never imagined. Your journey awaits. Climb on.